Hi friends, it's Deanna here today, and today I've got a fun little hack for you. So I am going to be sewing up a staycation dress today, but instead of attaching the gathers on the inside, I'm going to attach the gathers on the outside. I don't know if you've seen that look where you see that the gathers are kind of fluttering on the outside of the fabric. I'll try to show a picture here. But I saw it and I thought, I want to do that. So let's do it together. All right, so there's a couple of different ways that we can do this. A couple of days ago, a little bit ago, I posted a video on how to do a lettuce edge hem. And so one of the ways that you can do this is you can use a lettuce edge hem, which there is a blog tutorial on our website if you want to check it out, that shows how to do it with the lettuce hem. So you could go check out our video on how to do a lettuce hem, then do your lettuce hem and attach it. But today I'm doing it a little bit different. I love the lettuce edge hem for the bottom and hem and stuff like that. But for the dress, I kind of went back and forth. I thought about using the lettuce edge hem because I think it looks really cute. But then I thought I also want to be able for it to look finished on the top. So I'm going to do it a different way. I already created my bodice, so here it is. I'm going to put it to the side, and I've got my two tiers. The only thing I'm doing with my tier, as you can see, I do have a match-up right here in the back. You're not supposed to have that line, but I ran out of fabric, so I had to cut it a different way, so I had to patch it up. Anyway, the only thing that you have to do different is when you are cutting your tiers, you want to add about an inch of seam allowance, because you already have an allowance to attach the skirt to the bodice. So that's good, but you want a little bit more, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to essentially hem the top of the skirt and then attach it on. After I hem it, I'm going to gather it and attach it on. That's the only thing I'm doing differently. So you have to give a little bit of extra because you're going to essentially hem the top of your skirt as well. So like the bottom tier, you'll have to hem the bottom obviously when you're done, but you're also going to hem the top. So you want to add hem allowance so that you can hem it and then stitch it on. So I added about an inch. Actually I lie, I did not add any length. I totally forgot, but my dress is just going to be a little bit shorter and it's going to be fine. But if you want it to be the length that it's meant to be, you want to add about an inch of length so that it will fit. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and steam it, hem it, and then after I hem it, I'm going to put in a gathering stitch, and then we're going to attach it on. For the top layer, I'm only hemming up the top of the waist. For the bottom layer, I'm going to hem up both, and I'm hemming about an inch. Just because that's what I want it to look. Once I attach it to the waist, it's going to be kind of like a little poofy gathered here at the top, so that's how much I want to do, about an inch. Now once I'm done with this and you see it and I show it to you, then you can decide if you want to do more than an inch or less than an inch. That will be up to you, but that's what I'm doing. Alright, so now I'm going to go, and you could hem that, like top stitch it, but since I'm going to top stitch it to my bodice next, I don't want to have two lines of top stitching. So what I'm going to do is to gather my skirt, I'm going to use a basting stitch. So I'm going to put in a basting stitch. So I'm going to put the basting stitch kind of at the hem point here, so that way I can, when I attach it to my bodice, I can remove that basting stitch, and then I'll only have my hem line showing, so like my stitching line. I know you're supposed to stitch from the front, but since this is just a basting stitch and it doesn't really matter, and I want to keep it very even, I'm going to go from the back. Alright, so here's my bodice all finished. That's going to be adorable. And here is my top tier. Let me make sure that this is my top tier. Yeah, this is my top tier. As you can see, here's my basting stitch, and it's kind of like a folded hem here at the top. So I'm gonna first find my half of my bodice so I know exactly how to attach it. And I like to do like the little notches on marking that because it helps me keep track. And then for my bottom, for my skirt, I have these little bumpy things here. When I cut it out, I went out a little bit so I know where my halves are. And we're going to grab the bobbin thread and we're going to gather our skirt. So I'm going to go right here from where I started. So like that's my half size right here. And I'm just going to gather that up. Now you can do this to anything that you're attaching a tier to. So like it doesn't have to be just the estication dress. You can do this to a peplum top. You can do this to any dress that you want to do it to. So I just chose this pattern because I really like it. But this is how it's going to end up. Like this is the part you're going to see. You're going to see these gathers. So you want to make sure that they're nice and even. And so like I said, I did about 1 inch, so that's how much mine is going to show. But if you don't want it that big, you can do a little bit less, or like a 1/2 inch, quarter, not quarter, I probably wouldn't do a 1/4 inch. I'd do like a 1/2 inch or a 3/4 inch. But I think this is going to look super cute. So now that I got that side, I'm going to go ahead and do the same for the other side, the other half. And I'm just pulling that bobbin stitch. Now remember, the reason why I'm pulling it from the front is because I did it, I sewed it on backwards, obviously, like, because I wanted to be able to see it. So my bobbin thread is in the front instead of it being in the back like it usually would be. So that's why it's that way. So I'm just gathering it to fit. All right, it looks like my gathers are pretty even, looking good. So now, instead of, oh no, it's not very even, it's a little bit more gathered right here, so I'm going to even them out. So instead of what we usually do, which would be right sides together, we were going to fit this the right side of the bodice to the wrong side of the skirt. So we're going to fit it into our actual top, like just straight on. So you're going to have to use pins for this because you want to match up those side seams. And then I'm going to match up the front here. So you're just attaching, and make sure that your hem touches the edge, like basically the edge of the skirt of the bodice. So that way it will be attached to the actual bodice. So then my other side, because you're going to be attaching it from the top. So we're going to go over, you could either do it on your sewing machine with a triple stitch or a zigzag stitch or double needle, or on your cover stitch, which is what I'm going to do. It's up to you however you want to attach it, but we're going to attach it from the front right to our bodice. Let me make sure those gathers are even. I like to make a knot on the beginning and end threads so that they don't come loose. So you can turn it inside out if that helps you be able to see exactly where it is that you want to pin that to, because you're going to see the hem here, and here is our top layer. So I want to pin it right at the edge like that, but make sure you only pin in the bodice and the skirt, the one layer. I'm going to put just a couple pins from the back, and then I'm going to go to the front and make sure that there, see, you can't just rely on that, because look at how my skirt is all wiggled. So then I'm going to go from the front, and now that I have it all marked up in the back, I'm going to pin more, and then I'll go to the back and remove those back pins anyway, because we don't want to sew with the pins in the back so that we don't run over them when we're sewing or anything like that if we don't see them. So they're just there, I just put them there as a guide. All right, now I'm going to remove those that I put on the back, and I'm going to continue on doing the other quarters, the other areas as well. All right, so now that they've all been, I see how it's going to look. This actually would look super cute as a top too. I think it would look adorable with some jeans. But anyway, I'm going to go over to my cover stitch. Again, you could do this on your serger. I mean, sorry. You could do this on your sewing machine with a zigzag stitch, a triple stitch, whatever you want to do. But you're just going to go, I'm going to go right over, well, like right above where, or right over, because that's like right at the hem line right here is where I'm going to go right with my sewing machine over that stitch that I already have, the basting stitch, and I'm just going to sew it right onto my bodice. Then we're going to come back and do the second tier. Actually, I don't know, I might just try it on. I don't know. Comment below and let me know what you think I should do. If I should leave it as a dress or if I should make it a peplum top. Because I think it would be really cute as a peplum top. I don't know, maybe I'll try it on as a peplum top and show it to you all, and then I'll add the skirt and you can let me know which one you prefer. But anyway, after I finish this, I'm going to do the same exact thing I just did here with the tier, the bottom tier, sew it on, and then we'll be finished. I want to make sure my gathers are standing up, and I'm removing my pins as I go, so it's going to take a little bit of time. Some people like to sew right over their pins, but that's a risk that I don't want to take. I don't want a needle to break and poke me right in my eye. All right, friends, so that ruffle is attached. I haven't hemmed it or anything because, you know, I'm going to do the dress version. But how cute does this look as a peplum? I think it's adorable. I love how it looks, that style with the little fluff right here. It's like an extra little gathered ruffle. Super cute. I love it. Now I'm gonna go do the same thing for the second tier real quickly, and I'm gonna show it to you as a dress, and you're gonna tell me, comment below and let me know, should I leave it as a peplum top or should I leave it as a dress? And then once you let me know, then I'm gonna go share it over at Ellie and Mac's website. Ellie and Mac's Facebook page, so come check it out to see the final results on how it ended up and if we are going with peplum or dress. So let me go ahead and finish up and then I'll show you the dress. And isn't it so cute? I am loving it. All right, friends, we are finished. Now, remember how I mentioned I ran out of fabric and I didn't have enough to make it longer, so I wasn't able to add the inch extra, so that's why the dress is shorter on me, which is supposed to be at the knee length, but as you can tell, because of this, the hem, it eats up a little bit, which is fine, but you just have to keep that in mind when you're making your version, what length you want it to be. But this is the dress version, and it looks adorable. Actually, I don't know which one I like best, if I like the dress version or the peplum version better. You comment below and let me know which one you like best, and then I'll make up my mind from that, and then I'll post a picture over on our Facebook page, so make sure you check that out to see which one I decided to go with. But I love it. I hope you love this tutorial. Such a simple little thing that can change the whole look of a dress, and it is super cute and super simple. Please comment below and let me know if you have any questions about anything that I did or any other tutorials that you want to see. I hope you subscribe so if you never miss any of our tutorials. Come find us on Facebook and Instagram. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!